The last half hour, the National Weather Service did confirm another tornado touchdown in Kentucky on Sunday night.
Yeah, they say it was an EF1 that hit Russell County, winds up to 110 miles per hour. No warning was issued about that. Here's a picture of damage from the Lake Cumberland State Resort Park that was posted from that area. This is the second twister confirmed in the Commonwealth from Sunday night storms.
Meanwhile, in Madison County, people there are wondering why their weather radios did not sound when a warning was issued. Emergency Management is now looking into it. WKYT's Grayson Passmore talked to one Richmond family who says they just hope the issue is figured out soon. It is our top story at 10.
You can just imagine if you have this in your hand and you're trying to do it, you're trying to look at that and this.
Lynn Cohn has been staying with her mother, Jean Smith, in Richmond. They were in her home not far from Main Street when the storm hit Sunday night.
What really alerted us to the storm is my older brother and his wife in Lexington texted us concerned about that, making sure we were safe and home and that there was hail coming and so on.
The two say thankfully they didn't have any damage, not even a downed tree branch in their yard the next day. But it was this device that did not go off that really has them worried.
Well, that is of some concern. I mean, there's a reason we have them, and we have them for emergency purposes. We don't expect to hear from somebody in Lexington that we have a storm coming our way.
Earlier this year, all homes and businesses in the county received Alert FM radios through a federally funded program. According to emergency management officials, the National Weather Service is responsible for issuing severe weather warnings and activating Alert FM units when a warning is issued. But we're told that didn't happen for many.
Certainly we want whoever is then generous enough to supply these to us to help us make them work. Either if it's something on our end that we need to understand better, or it's something on their end that they need to get the programming right.
Emergency officials say they're working with the NWS to figure out what went wrong. In the meantime, Cohn worries for her mother and others who live alone, especially with another upcoming severe weather threat.
I just hope it works soon.
In Richmond, Grayson Passmore, WKYT.
At this time, county officials have not released any update on the issue with those weather radios.